So, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but we're just going to talk like this in more of a quiet setting. This is more of a test than anything else. And it's important to just listen to the messages that come out without being trying to figure it out. So, I've pulled these cards for you. You've got protection, confidence, compassion, lighten your load, answers, and spirit guide. Now, when you do these cards, you're looking at everything. You're not just looking at what are the signs, like the normal signs. You're looking at the butterflies, the things around. You're actually looking at the card and seeing the energy that's in the card. Now, how do you do a collective message? Right? How do you get the answers that you need? And there's many different ways. And not one person can say it is this way or it is this way, because each energy perceived from each person is totally different than what one person that you're in an alignment with, or the person that you meet at church. Their energy is different. So how do you perceive the world? How do they perceive the world? By through their eyes. What type of environment are we living in today's society? That's what you have to take in accountability for each and every person's life. So when you're a reader, you have to be totally unbiased. You can't be trying to fit in to do something else that belongs to someone else. You have to do it authentically. So I can understand these people that want to copycat because they don't know where to start. But you know where to start is basically like they're interested in it and they don't know how to get there. They're like, well, I've got the cards, I'm pulling them out, but I don't know how to read them. What are they trying to tell me? Right? And for people that want to do this at home, you have to be spiritually open to the higher light, whatever light that looks like for you. There's many different lights within the darkness. So within yourself, how do you see yourself? What messages are trying to portray through the things that you pull? Now, is it because of a personal pull, which often is the case? Because you're trying to fill in the gaps, trying to fill in another person's energy. Just don't do that. See, the messages that come out from each card deck are the messages for you. And the more that you handle your cards, they become warm, but they come with energy. And that's what you want, is the energy. So they speak to you. And sometimes you have to fan them out every once in a while like this. And then you pick a card that says willpower. Right? How awesome is that? On the back, a shiny circle, pentagram with the tree of life. There's more to it. You look down, it's got the tree of life on a sandy beach with abundance around it. And then we'll say, oh my God, you've got the star. And I'm like, yes, but if you smoothed it out, you're looking at triangles, you got a pentagram, but you also got those chevrons. And if you smoothed out the corners, you'd have a figure eight. But you can't put a figure eight in a circle. Or can you? But maybe they didn't have enough sand. They took away from the rocky beach to make that stand out among the tree of life. Crazy, eh? That's the way that I think. And then I see the ocean around it, this green tree, ivy, with sandy beaches on a beautiful little island. And it's all like your own little oasis. Crazy, eh? anyways. So don't think that the pentagram is such a bad thing when you see it differently in another person's perspective. Because sometimes what may look like witchcraft is not. Because there's messages within a vision that you see from another person's perspective. May it be computerized, generated or not. It came from someone's brain. They're tapping into other people's brains. Messages come out when they need to. As you can see, there's the sandy beach, and then you got the white sandy beach, and then you got that really hard maybe seaweed stuff. Oh, if you want to get off this island, you're gonna have to go through the seaweed. And you know who lives in the seaweed? Crabs and lobsters and things that want to bite you before you get to the nice sandy beach, before you get to the nice whatever. It's such a nice thing that like Egypt and Italy, Greece and Croatia, all those beautiful places have no nastiness around. It's just beautiful sand and warm bathtub water. Yeah, beautiful. So don't think that this is a bad sign, because it's not. Because on the other side, you have such a beautiful card, right? Willpower. She's all in the world. The world is your oyster. Right on top of protection and confidence, right? And then you build it up. So this is how you can do it. You have to play in a different way when you're an adult. The things that you enjoy to do, you have to play a different way. Because when you get older, you like different things. Things that you get into. Maybe fencing, or like ping pong, or like different matches that you enjoyed because it kept your body good, but you got laughed at. And then eventually you just go back to it because you enjoy to do it. Financial health. So the things that you enjoy to do bring you luck, bring you everything, and abundance to be stepping forward. Maybe that's gonna be like my channel. Would that be awesome? Financial health, the abundance of energies and stories. Water time. Must drink water in a glass. Water's the choice. Water's the choice each and every time. Forgiveness. You gotta forgive yourself from the past, from everything that hurt you. And that means, like, I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about everyone out there that's needing time to heal but don't get it. You're forgiven, and now you can step into the new you if you're going through changes. You have my blessing to step into something that's going to alleviate you for the best, instead of holding you back and hindering yourself. Because hindering yourself isn't what you want. Boundaries. One must have boundaries. So you'll notice with my energy, and I'm not like a normal reader at all, you're going to find me a little weird, and that's going to be awesome for you because the stories come out, and this is the way that I can tell my stories without being interrupted. But boundaries of like putting up physical, mental, emotional boundaries between people that you need time and space and away from. You're not going to be allowing the same energy that's going to be coming back. Eventually, you'll get tired of it. Eventually, you'll start to say, well, you know what? I used to enjoy lots of coffee and tea, and now I really like water, right? It's non-fattening. It keeps me hydrated. It keeps me young. I look great, and I exercise, so therefore, your body's getting rid of toxins. And you're kind of not going on the Ramadan fasting, but you're close to it. You're still eating, but you're taking one step away from being like go 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 with coffee and tea to like water, where you're like, chill, man. It's island time. You know, there's a saying out there on Vancouver Island. It's island time. It's a bumper sticker. I remember being there, driving and living there. It's awesome, but fucking expensive. Jesus. I know. Expensive, especially when you're doing it all alone and you got 2 horses, a dog, and 2 cats. And you're all by yourself, kicking it there, working your ass off so that you could enjoy life. Basically, I was working at Level Ground Trading, BC Ambulance. There was a whole bunch of horse stables. I started my own business. I worked for dog kennels. I got a lot of experience from a lot of different people, and I met a lot of different people, and the amazing understanding of life there. It was a hard struggle, don't get me wrong. Sure fucking was. But you know what? I lived. I got to tell stories of Victoria PD and the SPCA there, and meeting all the people, doing modeling, being a part of someone else's world. It's pretty amazing. And that goes for anyone that you happen to live and be with now. The experiences that you have with people, you also set up those boundaries, right? You got an awesome little tidbit there. I'm not just like the run-of-the-mill tarot reader. I actually lived. Like, not many people want to tell their life story, and why not? Like, you get entertainment, you get free readings, which are going to be astronomical for your benefit, their listener, reader. You want to know my life story, and that's pretty much it. It's like, record your life here while doing tarot and healing through people. But you know what? How I heal? I heal through words and communication. That's how I heal. So if you want to listen to me and you're going to receive healing words and aspirations of everything to heal your own life, then you can listen to me. Totally worth it. And I'm not getting paid. So eventually, the love of getting paid, the love of, the love of your willpower, the love of your financial wealth, the love of your forgiveness, and the love of your boundaries, and love within itself. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to find love, nor does it mean that you're going to, find the love of your life. It is the love of yourself and the things that have brought you here to your abundance through things that you need to love within yourself to get the greatest and the better opportunity. Why am I talking so low? Well, it's early in the morning, and I don't want to wake anyone. I have the music going behind me, which is great because it sends a really nice energy. In the morning, it's not too loud and obnoxious, and it helps me focus on things. Trust. Look at that. Trust. Nice. Beautiful. Trusting, letting go, looking up into the divine clouds of freedom that awaits you. Now you get the clarity. You get clarity of life. There's your crystal ball there. Remember, all the bad things that you send my way will be reflected back to you 10,000 times fold. Don't mess around. I don't mess around. Clarity. You get clarity, but that's not a threat by anyone. Just to let you know. There's no threats here. But please don't send that my way. That's not really nice. I'm trying to help people through my stories. Through the words that they need to hear to help them out. To move on whatever your gift may be, and maybe you're a stuck angel here like me. But I'm not stuck. I just live. And most people have a problem with that. Because I see. Like my crystal ball. Clarity. Getting clarity among... okay, so there's some messages that come through and some that talk to me and some that don't. So they're called bridges. They're called gaps. That's why a bunch of them come out sometimes. So sometimes they make sense and sometimes they don't. So this is how I read the cards that come out. They have to bridge an understanding to what the story is. Sometimes the story is fucked and you have to read back and you're like, I don't understand. And then you'll have to start it all over again. Because that's where you should start. You should start from the very beginning. So you can get those messages from the very beginning instead of interjecting at another time or pausing it. Pausing it, you noticed it would probably change into a different direction. Because then your energy is affected by the reading. So people that watch your readings, they may be dreaming of it, they may be manifesting you, they may be watching your channel, they may be whatever, right? You're getting clarity within, like it's heating up. Passion, look at that. It's heating up now because they're like, oh God, here it comes. Here comes the stories. Here comes the messages. Oh shit. And in the terms of doing that, you heal yourself. You heal the energy within yourself. Look at that. Red and blue rings. The balance. Well, why are they not white and black? Right? I'd rather have white and black. White and black is not the Illuminati, by the way. It's a balance. There's always been. Or even red and white. That is also balance. No matter what you put it at. It's usually white and red. That one doesn't want to come, but it's coming. It's coming. Talent. So you have the talent in anything that you do. Whatever messages that come forward to you, right? You're finding yourself. See, you're healing. You're finding yourself in your talent. And you're bridging the gap that everything's heating up. Maybe you have a channel. Maybe you don't. Your fertility. Maybe you're pregnant. You're not. Thank God. I don't need it right now. I need to get myself. I have to find myself first before I can, right? And then, but this could be for someone else. Fertility. This could be for, she's pretty. She looks abundant. She looks happy. She's dancing in the sun like a gypsy. Got gold and bangles and silver, and she's just happy. Pointing at the stomach. Oh, she's pregnant. She's in her prime. And even when she's old there, Leo DiCaprio and liking super young girls at the age of 25. Oops, you're at 25 and you You pop them out? Come on. What's wrong with you? Hell, it's not about. Yeah, but those girls let themselves go. After about the age of 25, they're looking for like Papa to get him pregnant. Right? Papa, whoever. Right? And that's the dark side of things. Leo DiCaprio, jeez. That's, but like, then you're like, what, you lose fun? I'm like, you don't lose fun. I'm still feeling like I'm 22, 23, forever 23. Because remember, interject with a little story here. The messages that came out of me just saying, remember at 23. I'll tell you a short little story here before moving forward, because that's when I was the most fertile. Like, I was happy, I was abundant, I was full of life. And someone tried to take my life away when I was 23 by strangulation. And you know, when you see that tunnel of death, like the dark tunnel, and then you see this light all of a sudden shine up, and you see and whatever animal or whatever coming towards you. For me, it was a big black horse. And on the big black horse, it was just no one. And I heard, not this time, this is not how you go. And then as this guy is crushing my neck, and I do remember his name, and I saw him just recently, and you know, the funny stories and ties to this. And that's another time, another story for another time. But I remember several things, many things. When I saw that big black white horse, it was big black horse. I had a big black horse named Maggie. She was beautiful. Big black with a big long black mane, just like I saw in my dream. Yeah, that was a pivotal moment. Same with Marshall. Big and black and white, right? See, black and white horses. There's something purity, you know, and then fertility, purity and fertility, abundance, love. But anyways, my story ends basically, I get away, as you can tell, and so did he. And then I recently saw him where at the place I was working, just one day a week. And funny how he knew that. Just walking on by and casually just looking and not turning, but knowing that I'm working there. So he would be on security cameras too, and I could be able to point him out. Because there was lots of security cameras at that market and lots of people. Yep. So the story ends with knowing that each story of your life is accountable for, and understanding what messages come through. I am told to just stop it with the story and just continue on. My bad. So you have fertility, an abundance, a pregnancy coming in. It's a manifestation, something that you've always wanted to do. You're getting justice, so that could be for a court case, it could be for anything that's, I gotta change the music. Hi, I'm back. So, to resume, I want to tell the rest of that story. I just need to get it out. So, I know my attempted murderer guy. Saw him recently. I saw him again when I worked in the oil field. I told a few people about that. You know. But, I haven't seen him for a long time, and then all of a sudden, when shit goes awry, and getting... Why is he after me? Like, why can't you just fucking drop it? Leave me alone. I want peace. I think we all want peace. I think people that want to come after you really need to heal themselves. It's like, whoever did you wrong, it's like, you need to go and heal yourself. You're not going to find yourself by killing other people just to get your way. It's like, you really need to do some healing. Like, seriously. The art of communication is a lot more powerful than just pulling out a knife or a gun. If you can't communicate, then you really shouldn't ever be in a relationship, nor less, getting angry at people or stealing their stuff. Hi. My son is up. I am back. So, the guy that tried to unalive me is still walking around, and I can identify him and all that kind of stuff, but do I really want to? No. I want him to move on. I want him to live his life. That's it. And I think the majority of people just want that. It's like, just move on. Why do you need to get even? It's like, who hurt you when you were young that you couldn't express yourself? Who hurt you that you needed to think that taking someone else's life is justifiable for certain acts? Who hurt you that you couldn't heal properly within yourself, that you could let go, that you could look past all the hurt that someone did to you, that you wouldn't do it to anyone else, especially your offspring, your children, right? Or your grandchildren or anything like that, and passing it down the line. You got to heal yourself so that you can move on into abundance. If you're not healing yourself and finding the happiness in things, then it's probably the wrong place for you. And I'm not saying that you're incapable. Is that you just need to spend some time with yourself, to find yourself of what makes you the happiest, instead of listening to Instagram and scrolling through and trying to find happiness there. There is happiness in those places, but it's certainly not trying to take someone's life by even the words that you tell someone online. So if you're writing on games or text messages or things like that, if they don't understand, then they really need to be not messing around with people that they don't understand, right? And when you look at someone, for myself, I can tell what kind of background that they're in. I'm like a human computer. I walk around and I can take pictures in my mind of places I've been. I worked for Northeastern Investigations in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, and I was working under Neil Kiokio. God, I love that guy. He was so grumpy. He was a military police officer from Ottawa, and he taught me so many amazing things. So, hey, Neil Kiokio, if you're out there, fuck, I still think about you. I think you were the awesomest boss ever. And awesomest is the word, man. You know, I've learned so much from people, and I'm really grateful for those memories. Everyone that I've met has great quality, and some that don't. And the people that don't, I stay away from. I don't want to entertain the bad drama and the bad shit. Just leave me be. Go about your life and be happy with it. Don't go around murdering people and trying to get even and stealing their money and all that kind of stuff. It's all going to come out in the wash anyways. It's like, why do you have to hurt someone else for your happiness? And then in the end, you're just going to get caught because the injustice is there. Right? It's all written all over the book. Right? It doesn't make sense. And then you got the FBI, and then you got the CIA, and then you got the National Treasury, and then you got my lawyer, and then you got that, and then you got this, and then you got whatever. You got the justice system, then you got crooked crops, and the crops. Maybe some of them do sound like crops. Right? Crooked cops. Crooked anything. Bribed. That's what you have in the justice system. But then there are good people out there that will help you eventually get what you need. And you're finding yourself and you're healing yourself and you're focusing on yourself. So therefore, you're getting clarity and you're trusting the process and you're trusting the divine, the light, whatever light that you seek, you're finding it, right? And you're manifesting it, and you're abundant. Fertility doesn't necessarily mean that you're pregnant and this is just a woman's show. No, it's not. It's for everyone. Everyone that's going through shit. Everyone that listens to this video and go, holy shit, like the messages that she's spewing out, like, are these messages for me? And then it's like, yeah, you take it as it resonates, whatever messages that come through. These are the messages that come through. So, I'm going to read it totally different than anyone else. And I don't play with these cards a lot. And that's the funny thing, is that I think more people really need, like, the visual, they need the talking, they need this, they need that, and they need to fucking listen sometimes. You're not always right. I'm not always right. And you're not always wrong. So the perceived messages that you get from reading or listening to this, because we know there's a one reader out there or a listener or whoever listening to my stuff. Trying to get, intel and information. I'm like, it's not going to work that way. You don't have permission to come into my space. You don't have permission to interject or interrupt or anything like that through the messages that I have to give to people. Most people want to know, how the fuck did you survive being strangled by a guy and he's still after you after so many fucking years at the age of 22? Who does he know in your family, right? There's an internal investigation that someone should look into. Maybe that should be me, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to. Because I want to move on in my life. I don't want to dwell in the past. So why are you dwelling in the past? Why are you constantly trying to hold and live in the past? You got to move forward in life to excel, Like, you could be into painting, you could be into dancing, you could be into making wreaths, you could be making into, cream or anything like that. Beautiful products for yourself or for other people. And, having that abundance and having that whatever. That is the way to go, moving forward instead of dwelling in the past, because dwelling in the past doesn't help anyone. I can tell you that. And taking one's life, for God's sakes, that's another time and another video. Totally different video. Inspiration. Where do you get your inspiration from, right? Do you look at outside when it's snowing? Do you go out there and you put your hand up and you feel the snow falling on your hand? Do you feel an inspiring when you look at the stars or the moon What activates you? That's pretty much it. That's your talent, and it is your inspiration, right? You're being inspired by your gifts and your talent. And so you'll get justice and healing and closure. You get closure from a lot of things. Everything in your life. And it'll be inspiration to closure. And then someone will hire you, and because it says you're climbing the tree. You're going into the tree. Career. But is it your career? Read between the lines of when they say justice. What does justice mean in someone's path? What does healing mean in someone's path? What does talent mean in someone's path? Each person has a different path. Each person lives a different life that we don't understand. But what their journey is like, can we help them in some way? Do you find an inspiration in helping someone out? It's all about positive. It's not about negative bullshit these days in life. You need the strength to move forward. Look, she's holding a cup. There's 2 of them. Maybe 3 of them. Yeah, there's 3 of them with butterflies, strength. Nice, pretty, yeah. Right? Actually, that goes here. Reconciliation. So perhaps within the justice that you find of healing yourself and the strength within it all, that you can reconcile through people that you used to know, that you used to trust, that you walked away from or you moved away from a long time ago, and then you're just coming back into your light being, and then you have the courage to move forward. She's holding cubs, and then this is the courage card. So you have the courage to do it. You're moving into the power. And I'm not going to be doing the Taurus, Leo bullshit. Whatever cards speak to me, they speak. Grieving. Perhaps grieving a loss. Maybe people will die. Maybe you're losing something. Maybe someone's death is a rebirth. Maybe grief of letting go of things. Empowerment to be moving forward. Courage, reconciliation. Like, these are all very positive cards, and they have to be. Because everyone needs a positive message instead of always hearing negative bullshit. Blessings. So whatever is happening in your life, may it be a new job, or money, or a channel growing, or someone gonna marry you, because if they don't, it will be a mistake of a lifetime. So whoever is out there for me, you better come quick. I'm ready. Kidding. Oh, look, family. Look at that. Just as blessings. You get family. So, indeed, right? Look, little boy, husband, and full moon. We get so many periods, and it's a beautiful little family. It's perfect. Right? That could be the sun. That could be the evening. How pretty. Right? Finding yourself. Animals. See, having certain animals in your life really has a benefit. Maybe horses or dogs or cats or lizards or birds or whatever. We all have even animals that we had when we were kids, like stuffed animals. Like my son loves penguins. And I used to sleep with a little like a dog. I named him Freddy. Travel. See, remember the other card? Fertility, right? She's also pregnant, but she has really bad posture as well. So I'm not entirely sure if this is scoliosis or she's trying to portray that she's fertile. So this is a really bad card for me to say anything on, because her posture is really bad. Because if I wanted to travel, I wouldn't want to be looking like that. I would be wanting to look straight and empowered, right? So, I'm not entirely sure what type of card this portrays without seeing, I see travel and boat and ocean and going across the seas. Maybe there's a new home and everything there without you worrying about anything. Maybe that knight in shining armor is becoming a king, and that king will be coming over and saying, okay, let's go. I'm taking you away from all this horribleness, and I've seen enough. You're mine. There's no more of this. Come with me. And then you go, and then voila, right? Into a beautiful, happy family with your animals, and maybe you're near the ocean. Maybe all your blessings and the justice that you get for everything, right? This is great. This is wonderful. Good luck. Look at that. You got the good luck. Good luck on your side for everything that's going to be happening in your life, right? Perfect. And you finally get peace because you found your happiness, right? Whatever happiness that would be, right? It doesn't necessarily mean the king. I was just making an example, right? It could be anything. It could be like traveling. It could be happy family with your animals. You can have a happy family with animals. You don't necessarily need to marry and have kids or anything like that. But you find happiness in the things that you're doing. And you transform yourself. So you're transforming into an energy, into the peace. It's what you think about, you bring about. I have a story. I'm going to share it. Neil Kiyokyo, I don't remember if he remembers this one, but working at the Manulife Financial Building, and I was the customer service for this, but I was the security officer, and sitting next to me was my boss on the particular day, and there's a whole bunch of people that came in, and it was raining, and they were all wet and angry, and they were, Neil didn't want me moving away from the monitors because people were coming in, and then you have to monitor all the cards, and you have to notice who has a card and who doesn't, and who swipes and who doesn't. You had to swipe to get into this building because it's a financial building, right? You have to have special clearance, which awesomely I do. And working there, monitoring the monitors, and Neil's like, I'll deal with these people, and he was going nuts, he was going crazy. And I remember this guy in a top hat, and he had a time period. This is time travel, people. This is someone that I've met time traveling and telling me this. And so listen, this is a really cool story. And so he comes over to me, and he's got a top hat. He's got a crow on his right shoulder. He's got like the 1800s to 1900s, the time period dress for there. black cane. You've got slacks, shiny black shoes. He's decked out in black and white. He looks like a fine gentleman, really super dapper. Oh yeah, really high class too, with a white scarf around his neck. Yes, with the vest, with the oh god, the watch with the little chain. Yes, and he leans over to me, and I said, "Yes, sir." And of course, there's videotapes of that, I'm sure, unless they burned them. But anyways, he leaned over and he said, "What you think about, you bring about." And I'm thinking, what? It's like, what you think about, you bring about. And I said, "I have to write this down." And he said, "Yes." And as soon as I'm writing it down, I wrote it all down, and I looked back up and he was gone. And I looked around and I'm like, wait a minute, he was just right here. Where did he go? So my head was down. Neil was busy with all the other people, and the other people didn't notice. No one noticed this guy. This guy came out of the blue, and he stood at the desk, and the desk was pretty high. There was only a little area that you could slide things and have like this little porthole in the desk. And yeah, he just disappeared. And then as soon as Neil was done with everyone, it's like, "Neil, did you see that guy?" And I was like, "No." And I was like, "Oh my God," I was trying to explain it. And I said, review the monitors, that he must be there. And it looks like no one's there, like I'm talking to no one, and no one can see him except me. But it happened because I can tell you about it. It's my story. But you know what? You find these things in your life as messages, that it happened solely to you, right? And these messages that come because it's your talent, it's your blessings, something that happened to you that you can tell others about, and either other people believe it or they don't. That's fine. But you know what? That's where the saying comes from: what you think about, you bring about. I used to say it all the time, and I used to put it on the web too. What you think about, you bring about. So are you thinking about transformation? Are you thinking about peace? Are you thinking about your good luck? Are you thinking about blessings? Are you thinking about your family and the love that you want to bring in for yourself? Are you thinking about traveling? Or are you thinking about grieving and getting back and getting even at people because, they did you wrong? Oh yeah? Well, the truth will set you free. What is your truth? How do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? What truth do you see within yourself to change? Everyone wants peace, right? Everyone doesn't want to fight. People don't want to be, arguing. What's about arguing? Come on. There's no point in arguing in any aspect anymore. The art of communication, to be finding yourself and then finding people that understand you, the way that you talk, the way that you communicate, the way that your well-being. If you're not grounded, right, you can't get the peace, you can't get the good luck, you can't get the blessings, you can't get the strength within to find the good in yourself, because you'll be going through things. Maybe within family, someone dies within family, and then you're grieving. And it's a grieving process. And the grieving process, by the way, is super long. And you can't tell someone it's been so many years, you have to just get over them. No. Don't do that to someone. A grieving process may be many, many years. Please don't rush people when they lost someone, because then they don't heal properly and they're wounded for the next person. So please don't rush people when someone dies to say that, oh, it's only been a week, just get over it already. Someone's grieving process is totally different than someone else's. So please don't rush the process for someone, because then that can get them angry. You have to learn the art of communication. Talking and body language are the most imperative things. You have to look within yourself and how to read people. Right? How you respond, how you get places. You also have to be like, well, in your well-being. Are you well-being? How is your well-being? Are you stuck? Are you not receiving the messages? Are you, finding yourself, oh God, a good luck, strength, but then you've got, but who are you around? Seriously, who the fuck are you around that causes you not, for your well-being, not to be in a good headspace? What music are you listening to that changes your frequency and your vibration? What is that bringing you peace? Is that bringing you happiness? Are you happy that you do this shit, or are you not? Most people don't want to do that. Most people want to just talk, and they want to be able to talk and be open about talking without having some kind of prejudice on their body, on their head, on their whatever, And if they speak their truth, they're gonna get in trouble. Why? You're healing. I think everyone needs to do that, no matter what. And finding beauty within yourself. She might be very pretty, but her body has now gotten plump. But over the years, right? That's beautiful. That's like, she's given life, she's given birth, she's had babies. This is how her body sits. And why do we have to be perfect, skinny models? That's sickly, right? Ancient times, she's dazzled in, maybe she's a mermaid, right? She looks like she's underwater. That may be a tail instead of legs, but she's glittered in gold, shiny things. Very pretty. She's in the mirror, and that's what she looks like, but that her body is plump. It's like, so we all lose fat around our bodies, but if she looks like that, her heart is pure too, because she comes from a good heart space, and that brings you peace, right? Brings you peace, and it brings you good luck, and in your well-being, you're in yourself, you're accepting yourself, not just some kind of hokey-tokeness. And then you get your happiness, peace, beauty, happiness, transformation. You're transforming into a butterfly. You're moving into light. You're commitment there, energy. You have to commit to things. May it be one person, may it be, staying at home, or committing to many different things. If you make a commitment with someone, you have to stay there, and if you don't, well, then I can't help you. Then move on. If you don't want to be in the situation that you're in, find the strength and courage within yourself to move on, because there's no point in trying to hold on to the past and keeping you down into a space that always brings you down into a negative space. Move the fuck on. It's really easy. It's super easy. When you write out on a piece of paper, write it out. Like, take a pen and a piece of paper and literally write out what you want to say to someone. and you take some Palo Santo or sage, and you know, you do that afterwards to cleanse the space, and you get kind of spiritual, or you go to church. It doesn't matter, even if you believe or you don't believe, or you're spiritual and you're a child of the light, or you're a star seed, or you're Palladian, or whatever energy that you're in. Whoever you are, whatever energy you are, is to find some peace and light within yourself, because that in turns happiness. But move away from all this darkness. Recoil yourself if this is who you are and this is who you truly want to be, or it's someone that you don't want to be and that you can transform into a different being than you are. I hope that makes sense, because if it doesn't, I don't know, then you're not listening. Within the commitment of finding within yourself, you set yourself free from whatever jail, prison, mental, physical, emotional, whatever. You're mentally, you're just a shell. The shell stays behind, but you're free, right? But your shell doesn't. The shell follows you around. Think of your shell as your shadow. It follows you around, right? It does what you're doing. Do you ever stop and look at your shadow of what it's doing? Have you ever taken a picture of your shadow, right? Who do you look like? Are you an amazing person that you're doing something cool with your hair, and you have long hair and you're taking a picture of your hair? It's like that's an immortalization of your energy at that time. Your shadow at this time, sitting, say, on a dock, eating ice cream, or you're standing on the top of like the Empire State Building, and you see your shadow, and your shadow's in the way. Include your shadow, by the way. Wouldn't that be cool that you're taking pictures with your shadows and shadow self, seeing this in a different point of view, right? You can always go back to that spot and see what your shadow saw. But you're setting yourself free to be doing these things within yourself, however you set yourself free. New beginnings. So within setting yourself free, you create new beginnings within yourself. Journeys, different journeys. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you're transforming into a bird, and like spiritually, can enhancedly sit and meditate on the ground, and then meditate to go to wherever, right? Psychic abilities that I have. That is my life purpose. Maybe that's your life purpose. Psychic abilities, maybe that's not necessarily mine, but it is mine, along with a whole bunch of other people. And we are all psychic to a degree. We all have a sixth sense. We all feel a different way and a different energy. The psychic abilities of doing something, the knowing of right and wrong, right? These are the psychic abilities. When you see a different part of yourself, new beginnings happen. Friends. Well, when you didn't have friends, you will now, because you'll find your tribe, right? You'll find, and so, I don't know, she's shiny, right? You'll attract the right type of people because you're on the right vibration for your gifts, your talents, your beauty, your strength, everything about you, right? Prosperity from all the hard work that you put in, this is hard work. This is receiving messages and having the ability to be doing this and putting yourself out there so that may you be dancing in money, showering money. Is that it's it's like giving the vibes of it's raining men. Hallelujah. It's raining men. Hallelujah. It's raining men. Hey, hey. That's what needs to happen in my life. I'm open to that. But I'm looking for a specific individual. Nothing short of like not extraordinary. If he can watch ever after with me and be that king, that is what I want, just like that. And home, and a beautiful home, and a beautiful home, right? And that may be, my dream, or it could be anyone else's dream, a fairy tale dream. It could be anything, right? But where you start off from, the end always has a beautiful outcome. And these are the beautiful cards that I think more people need of positivity in their life than the negative ones from the juicy juice cards. And I have them too, by the way. I have them right here. But it's a different type of energy that comes out. I also have my occult. I also have my energy. I also have my hermetic. And I have more like spiritual alignment cards that come out. So, wow, an hour. That's great. So, I'm going to get one card from this deck of whatever comes out. See, I choose to do it a little different than anyone else because there's no point in being like everyone else. And why, right? Why? Excellent. Thank you. So your cards, I believe I'm worthy of feeling good. Yeah, you should feel good. You're worthy of it too. And why wouldn't you be? Because people don't tell you enough. People don't tell you this energy, right? They don't see your hard work. They don't see your vibration, and you should believe that you're worthy of feeling good, even in your work. And sometimes in your work, you shouldn't be working, right? My super attractor power comes from how I feel, my faith and love, and the joy I put in, and put out. It says I put out, but you have to put in to be put out, right? Remember that. I just noticed, right? My faith in love and the joy I put, it should say in and out. Because if you're not pouring into your own cup, right? Say that you have getting money for working so many hours, and then you have to give it all away. What's the point of that? How are you supposed to give more when you're not giving to yourself, right? You have to put in money to you so that you can actually feel abundant in yourself to give out more to others. So all these rich people that are grabbing these attention from all these people, it's great and all, but you know what? It's almost like you're fishing for ideas so that you guys can come up with it in a different version, and then leave the people that are high and dry giving them their ideas to someone else that are going to make the product. And if if you do bring them on or you don't, you're still using their idea because you're plumb out of ideas, aren't you? You guys don't know how to, work within yourselves, and now you're going around to many different countries saying, what's your dream? What's tell us what you would like to make so that we can make it for you and a different version, because these are great ideas and we're plumb stuck out of, we don't know what to do. Oh, but I'll pay you a measly amount of money just for your idea. And therefore, there's the transaction. You can't come back and say, oh, hey, this was my idea. It's like, no, you took this money. It's like, if that was the deal, if you were like, oh, hey, Emma, what's your idea? I'm like, I actually give out my ideas for free. But just know, people out there, just know that you might be giving away your multi-million-dollar idea to someone that's just going to make it turn around and make it behind your back. Is the money that you accept is an exchange. So you would have given. And that's the same thing with nudie photos, and I'm guilty of that. Yeah, I think we all are. Everyone is guilty of that. Everyone. So, I'm like, well, there you go. You got a nudie body. It's like, I wasn't that fit back then, so, you got the fatter version of me. And even if you did get the thin version, it's still a body. It's nothing like, I'm like, okay, so you're going to shame me for my body? Right on. Okay. All right, no problem. I hope you feel happy with yourself. And if you don't, I wish you the best. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm like, it is what it is. I was of age. I think everyone is of age. But remember, the energy that you put in is also what you put out, right? I was, super attractor. You're a super attractor of your own being, or your own energy. So, but you also have to put into yourself. You have to put the energy into yourself to be receiving these good things, and you are your own God. You are your own demon or daemon. You are your own hell. What kind of hell do you put yourself through to get results? Or working your ass off to give it away, or believing and trusting people only to be burnt in the end. It's like, there's no point of getting payback, because payback is always walking karma, coming around and whatever. And so if you're just, being peaceful, the other people around you should be peaceful as well, right? No harm. Don't be taking this in the sense that if you're out there killing and murdering people and shooting people and hurting people, it's like this is okay. I'm like, no, it's not. You're not a super attractor to kill people. It's not what you're here to do on earth. And if you are, then perhaps you should lock yourself up and reevaluate yourself. Why would you do that to someone else? Oh, well, because you don't trust them. I'm like, and why, if you feed into that energy, it becomes a super attractor of negativity, right? And then you can't get out of that, right? So think about it being a positive thing instead of a negative thing. But I believe I'm worthy of feeling good. You are, in a positive light. And you have to see that for everyone as well, not just yourself. My super attractor power comes from how I feel, my faith in love, and the joy I put in and out. Into yourself, and it shows outwards. When I surrender my will to the care of spirit and the universe, I attune my energy with the ever-present stream of well-being. Right? You're attached to the light. May it be a cross, may it be the Star of David, may it be whatever you want to put around you. May it be rings, may it be silver, may it be gold, whatever you believe in. May it be jewelry of some kind. May it be rocks. May it be pendulum, right? May it be this. What kind of energy maybe it's that. I didn't make it move. If you wanted me to make it move, well then I'll be for the next time. But I do things a little differently. And this won't be for every reading. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for allowing me to get my messages out. To end that story with the guy trying to end my life and knowing that he is recently by, the strength to get and not panic and not go to the police, not basically surviving with the strength within to know your surroundings, to be aware, right? Maybe eventually, everything will just disappear. But when you are followed and when you are watched, when you are surveillanced, when you are everything, you become a very attuned person with, as some say, psychic abilities, and some people not. It's like a sixth sense understanding within yourself, right? So you become a part of yourself in knowing oneness. It's not like as above and so below, and so below as above. The energy from someone that chooses and wants to take the life of another has some serious healing to do within themselves, and it all stems down to childhood. How were you treated when you were young? What are the angriness and the bitterness that you see in someone? Even if you see kindness in the person, you still want to end their life because you see them kind. It's like, so who hurt you? What hurt in your life that you couldn't let go and talk to someone that wouldn't understand? Even though that sometimes, talking to a complete stranger is the most refreshing thing because they don't know who you are. And even when you talk, do they understand you? Or they don't understand you and you're just capable and able to get it off your chest. It's like, but you're not supposed to go around killing people, because sometimes that story has to come out, and how they see it in their light, in their vision, in their eyes, right? It will be different for everyone. Everyone involved, it's totally different. So, with my incident of being choked and getting away, banging that banisters, the guy upstairs gets angry. The guy drops me. I booted outside the door onto the other side into Tony's Pizza. And there's two cops sitting inside eating, and I'm standing there with like a hand mark on my neck, and it's purple, and it's, clearly, visibly stretched out, shall we say, and crushed. I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't go to the police. Scared for my life, not knowing what the fuck's going on. And I worked downtown. I was like, how do you get away from that situation? And then eventually I just told someone, and they're like, oh my God, fucking live with me. And then being protected by Vicky, my friend Vicky. And then you're protected by people. And you know what? That's really nice that you can get into a better strength and understanding that you're telling a community, you're telling people that you can get away, and you can start from square one. Now that when you're older, sometimes that means that you have kids with you and you have nothing, and you sold all your possessions and you have a few things left, and how do you do it? You go and talk to people that can help you. A community, and so that you can start over and get new beginnings, right? And manifestation, and super attractor, what do you think about you bring about? Eventually it'll bring you to your life purpose and your psychic abilities and the talent that you have in each and individual person. Yeah, totally. These are the messages that I have for you. Thank you for tuning in. There might be another video, there might not be. If you have any questions, I guess reach out. And if not, I hope you enjoyed me babbling on about things. Can I say that I'm truly safe for this person that's still after me, even after so many years? He hasn't given up. And is that because that there's someone in my family or friends or anything like that that have involvement? Right? What do they want from me? Right, they want my money. They notice that I'm a super attractor, that anything that I make turns to gold. Anything that I do, creating things, and it turns into whatever. I'm like, wow, this is the one thing that you can't do, is take away my spiritual gifts of understanding this stuff. And then telling the gifts and ideas and messages to people that really need to hear it. Maybe that's why. Maybe all of the things that I've gone through in my life, all the jobs that I've been through, all the experiences that I can be able to share with you, right? Totally. These are long. I'm hoping not to be this long. This is a long video, and I'm really sorry, but this is what it is. These are the messages that come out, and sometimes I can't help it. And I transfer back and forth to what the story is, because it's like not necessarily ADHD brain, but sometimes maybe it is. But these are actually the radio frequencies that come out that have to tell you at certain times. I wanted to mention that when you have someone that's still stalking you after all these years, may it be in your family member, or they've put a hit on you, or anything like that, is to remain positive and believing in the light. When you let go of all the past negativity and hurt, and you look into being around other light beings, you're a community that goes to even church, and whatever, mosque, whatever, whatever they believe in, even if you stay at home and you meditate and you're receiving energy, then you're still around the light beings, right? And it's a new, different energy that's basically rung in you from song and the energy and the vibration inside. And you're worthy of feeling it, and you're attracting a positivity, change, shift. Going through the dark night of the soul is not one that everyone can do. When you go into the darkness, and sometimes when you don't have people to talk to, the best person to talk to is yourself. So out there, if you're thinking, oh God, people are going to think I'm loony bins for talking to myself, I'm like, do it. Talk to yourself all the time. This is how you resolve your problems. Instead of holding it in, you're actually thinking about things out loud. It's just like if I would be talking to someone with this is what they would be hearing. Yes, they would be. This is what they would be hearing from me. It's like when I'm looking at these cards, this is exactly what I would be seeing from them and for them. Right? It's like, and this is how I would be feeling. This is how I would be feeling towards them as well. It's like, look at yourself in a different perspective than you would otherwise. And move on with your life. Be happy with your choices and move on. Perfectly decide, I forgive you. I forgive you for everything that you've done for me and done to me and done for me. And that's how you should be saying that for everyone that's in your life, that you're happy that they're in your life, that you taught them lessons, that you're capable of moving forward, you're ascending into a different area of yourself. So whatever position that you're in, even if you're on the street, even if people come up and say, give you a hard time, maybe they're giving you a hard time for a reason. Maybe they're allowing you to stay for free in their basement while you can get out, right? Maybe people are helping you out by giving you food, or you're going to a church service, or you're, living with family, or sleeping on someone's couch. Be thankful for that. Be thankful for the each and every day that you wake up. Be thankful for the choices, because those are new beginnings. Each different thought is a new beginning. How old would you be if every day, every second you age, right? How much time is in a day? And the time after accumulates each and every time. How old are you? You're 72 days older. You're 3 days older. So what does that look like when you actually turn your birthday? Why is that just one bigger number? It's a milestone, but wouldn't that milestone be each and every month? So instead of having a birthday and having like one big special day is your birthday, is that every month that you go out and do something fun for yourself because you've aged a month older, right? So here's an idea for someone, start up like the idea of celebrating your birthday every month instead of one big year, because your birthday should be like out of this world, right? You passed another year, so wouldn't you be passing every month? Fascinating, eh? Anyways, this is your idea and your reading. When you make better choices for yourself, you will super attract the prosperity, the new beginnings, the friendship, the love, the strength within yourself. You start feeling like you're number one, like you're uno, number one, you're the shining star. You are, what everyone wants to be when you're vibrating at a positive, super attractive rate, and you're giving to people, by the way. And that's not necessarily meaning you're giving money. You're giving your wisdom, you're giving your energy to. That makes you super attractive as well. And super attractive power is that you're also smiling and giving people, but you're also setting boundaries with people that they don't walk on. Or you give them lessons by saying, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. This is wrong. It's like you're standing around doing this while you should be doing that. It's like, look at yourself, different perspective. And people come over and give them lessons instead of drawing weapons or trying to hurt each other, trying to get a point across, which is stupid anyways. Don't be stupid about the choices. Just move your energy in the way that you move on this earth. Has a huge impact. So how do you move on this earth? Do you consume a lot? Are you loud? Are you noisy? Are you, disgusting slobs? How do people see that and the perspective of that person? Do you have lots of stuff? Do you fling it around? Do you flaunt it to make other people jealous? Because then, you're opening yourself up for negativity. So if you're modestly living and you're just content, but you're happy, but you walk around and people like, oh, well, you're ignoring everyone. I'm like, yeah, because their energy is jealous. They're envious. Why would I want to entertain that energy? I would not want to be around that energy. Those are the sixth sense psychic abilities that everyone has. So the way that you're vibing is the way that you're going to be attracting the types of energies that you're coming towards. And then when you have other people around you going, hey, this person's really toxic. Hey, this person, whatever. And then you can feel it too. It's like, geez, I wasn't feeling so good around these people, and now I am. Thanks. You find your tribe. You find your certain people that you're supposed to be around. And even if you marry them, or if you're in a relationship with them, you'll stay away from the narcissists and the negative people and all that shit that you don't need to be around. Because I can tell you, it certainly changes the wavelength in your body, since we're all energy, right? It changes everything about you. It changes your money, it transforms your health and your family and all that kind of stuff. Everything that was good can actually turn negative too. It's not necessarily that this reading can just be good. It's like, it's a beautiful read, but it's the other dark side and the balance understanding of that it can all be turned the other way too. You could lose your psychic abilities, you could lose your prosperity, you could lose your new beginnings, you could lose your home, you could lose your life purpose, you could lose everything down to nothing. And then you're questioning yourself of how that happened and who you were around and what type of things that you were doing to another person. So you shouldn't be doing spiritual work on someone that you don't know, and their spiritual gifts and their spiritual warriors that are standing behind their shoulders. You don't know who they are, and you don't have permission to come in because you don't know who they are and they don't know you. I said, you can't just come up on unsuspecting people that you know that are good and all that kind of stuff and try to bully them into, taking what's theirs. It's like, sometimes you're naive, and then when you go through ascensions and you work on yourself and you do all these things, you get to see the true potential of certain people and the way they communicate, the way that they talk, the way that they communicate with their body language is huge. You give yourself away sometimes when you follow me. You should tell your secret agent men that sometimes they should do things a little bit differently. We know that we're all being followed at some point. Whatever we've done in our lives, right? Being surveillanced and being watched, being listened to through YouTube or Instagram and the things that we post, right? Even when you go outside, you're still being followed. Your camera, your phone is a tracking device. They can listen in. They've tapped in, right? Just like you've tapped into your psychic abilities within yourself, or your sixth sense, or whatever you like to call it, with it, your gut feeling, your intuition, right? And people will get those information, and then you know that person's following me. That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel like a normal person. That feels like that person has eyes on me, right? And the cocky ones have ego saying, well, I'm the boss, blah, blah, blah. It's like, if you're always constantly thinking that way, eventually you're going to have to go into hiding. Like the majority of people out there that do have power, and I respect people with power. I don't envy them of being in that decision and in that power, because they have to make those decisions. And I'd rather not. I'd rather peace. I'd rather being abundantly by myself and being, happy with my family and learning things from other people and telling their stories, because their stories are just as important. They've lived more years than I have, so their importance of their story must be told. Instead of rewriting or trying to rewrite history, which most people like to do, just tell your story. You don't have to rewrite history on top of history. Write your history. What happened in the history? You don't have to do wars either. Wars are the most stupidest thing ever. Why are you fighting? Why cannot we all be abundantly happy and peaceful and whatever if everyone has a little bit of everything, right? If everyone works towards the same goal of being happy, and does one person rule all? Perhaps. Maybe everyone does. But without just cause of not killing people just cause. You all work together as a team, right? When you work harmoniously at work, right? And everyone, you're like the A1 team. You get stuff done, you get more money, you get more jobs, you get more, responsibilities, and people start noticing you. And they're like, hey, this person's, manager material. And then you move up because you're all working as a team. And then you're like, no, we're all working as a team. How about instead of making me manager, that you give us all pay raises, right? And then that company will go, well, shit, yeah. And then we all work together. We all make those choices. That's the way it should be. But you have that ability to be giving this information out. So I'm sure you're still listening. And if you're still listening, and if this is even making any sense, what you think about, you bring about into your life. That's it. What you think about, you bring about. Super attractor into your home, abundance into your home, your psychic abilities, your sixth sense. This is your life purpose, whatever life purpose that is for you, and you're making that commitment to be continuing on. Maybe that's going back to school, maybe that's learning a different art, maybe that's, learning from someone else that sees something in a different way than you do, right? Maybe that's being around older people that have the education. Maybe, and that's a new beginning within yourself, and having the strength to move forward, and it calms and clears your well-being to be learning something totally different instead of being against it. You're learning a different part of yourself, and then you'll know if it's right for you or not, or you're okay with it and you don't mind it. And then you find friendship within yourself, and you have the freedom and empowerment to move forward, and all those good things. Peace and happiness. Peace, light, and love. and the prosperity that goes along with it. May it be health, wealth, um, abundance in animals and flowers and green space and beautifulness. Who knows? That was your reading. That was your energy. I wish everyone peace, light, and love. And what you think about, you do bring about.